Going live. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. We're live now. So, as what is in the title right now, me, I'm gonna make a contract with myself. About what? Well, recently I just crushed. Can you see that? You cannot. What that says. I just crushed myself. A 1 month. 1 month without gooning, bro. And it was absolutely hilarious to say that I like that experience. Like not doing the gooning. It's absolutely beautiful, to be honest. And I would wanna do it again. But right now as a more stronger and better defender of my celibacy. Because we have to be strong in order to progress in life. And so I think this is the best way to do it, to control your urges and prevent yourself from doing it over and over again without actually wanting to procreate, to create a life form, a human being. Basically, what I'm saying is I need to protect myself from aimlessly wanting to do it just because I want to do it. And yeah, because I recently finished a 1 month celibacy challenge. It was so hard. I want to make a contract with myself. I do understand that there will be a lot of challenges along the way. So that's why I'm trying to learn how to make a contact contract right now. And you know what? Hell yeah. The thing is, I don't want to start right now. I want to start on a Sunday. To actually start on Monday next week. But, as they say, when you think you're not ready, that's exactly where you should start doing it. Well, I don't think I'm not ready. I'm definitely prepared because I have a lot of knowledge about the things that I would go lengths just to get out of my horniness. That's so weird to say. That's a weird thing to say. Honestly, that's what I want to do. And for now, I have to lock in and teach myself. And how to teach myself? To experience the things you need to do firsthand. So, without anything ado, without further ado, we'll be doing it. You will be coming with me as I embark on the journey of making It's not really working, is it? It's not really working. Hello, hello, hello. Microphone is loud, but why is it not hello? Hello. This is stupid. This is stupid. This is stupid. This is stupid. Okay. I just need to be closer to my laptop. So it's gonna be in a handwritten form. Wait, I cannot see. What the hell? I can't see anything. Going to be handwritten. The heck is that? The heck is that? It's not coloration. It's going to be handwritten. And hello. Damn. This is not really working with me because the microphone broke. Microphone is not going to want to use its microphone. It wants the microphone of my laptop. So I'm not gonna sleep until I finish this. Now there's a lot of things that I have to understand though. So first let's go to wiki. Yep. Now on this contract on WikiHow, goods and services. It's not gonna be about goods and services. I just want it to be like about this. Like I want to identify the parties, which is myself and my future self. Whatever the future self will be like, I need to have a purpose, which is stop gooning. Now, don't goon until this end term, which is duration and termination. But first, before you actually do that, you have to have a scope and terms because you will encounter problems. I will encounter problems, and I have to have a way to solve that, and it should be included in the contract. Now, we have to also set payments and deliverables. Like, what am I gonna give myself in return to stopping my dick from one thing that I don't wanna say it, bro. One thing that climax. Yeah. What am I gonna get if I do that? And then what if there's okay, I already said about the duration and termination will be 2 months. And I have to put the time starting and then the time stopping. And also I said it already, I want it to be on Sunday and it's Thursday right now, so I don't know what am I to do in this next 3 days. Probably gonna hit that shit up and then lock the fuck in for the next 2 weeks, 8 weeks. I don't know. So we have to include that in the contract. And then I have to include dispute resolutions, which is what I was gonna say if there's going to be a problem. Like if I want to do it, then what am I gonna do? I have some ideas about that, but there's also this idea that what if I ended up climaxing, which is a very difficult thing to do. I don't want to hate on myself because I understand that we don't really have that strength at this moment. my brain cells is not developed enough, I guess, because um, how many years for a brain to develop fully? Early 30s, yeah, that's the thing. Full physical size. Prefrontal cortex, which is the prefrontal cortex, impulse control. That's the thing. My prefrontal cortex is not that developed yet, so I have to understand myself, and I have to put it in the resolution that whenever that happens, do I just reset? Do I just get back at it, get back at the grind, or what punishments am I gonna get? Those things in the resolution, I have to put that there, and then because we can't really uh, give the future, because if something happens, the only way to do excrete the hormones. What hormones? Why is climaxing so good? Hormone or like or chemicals make it so good. Is it climaxing for men? I don't know. Oh no, why am I doing this, bro? Why am I doing this? Neurochemicals, endorphins. Yep, endorphins. That's really used. I remember hearing that endorphins are really great for learning, and the fact that it's getting triggered during ejaculation, it's not gonna make you learn things. Yeah, the more that you do, the more that you makes you stupid. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you really want to be smart, you have to do this like I also. And then dopamine, yeah, it's difficult because when you have dopamine, a lot of dopamine getting released, it's really hard to get out of that dopamine state, and you might end up getting addicted, which is I am for the majority of the teenage years that I am. Yeah, it all started in grade 12 in my 12th year, so it's crazy. Oxytocin, it doesn't really give off. Of course, it does lower the level of cortisol, but oxytocin, I remember this only happens, or love can only give oxytocin. Lust is so when you have oxytocin, it's just about love, like bonding, and it's the long term shit. Because dopamine and endorphins, they're the short term shit that makes you want it, and then oxytocin goes to make it last. Yeah, it's essentially what keeps you together. Prolactin, I don't know what that does. Satisfaction and deep relaxation. Okay, that's why you have a state of, what do you call that? Like after everything, and then you're just gonna sit down and question your life choices. Yeah, that's what's happening. That's what happens normally for a man doing that shit. And then testosterone, driving sexual desire. Yep, yep. Yeah. That makes it so beautiful for a man. eh, eh, eh. I was hoping that there was someone watching. Because I don't want anyone to watch. I'm just gonna do this because I want to talk like I'm doing anything, like I'm talking to a person, and also learn. And to keep this like a contract too, because the contract is I do the live and then I only finish when I'm done doing the contract. So yeah, so as I was saying, yeah, sign and date. You have to do that. Why was I searching that up? Is this good for YouTube? I mean, I don't know. But anyway, in contracts, you have to identify the parties. I think I don't want to just write this off. I want to question it. State the purpose. What is this for? Then define the scope and terms. That means at what extent does this go? Because in this level, the extent of not doing it is actually starting from not going into those places. You know what I mean? Like to not actively search it up. Yes, it can show up in the FYP, lalo na sa TikTok. Bro, sa TikTok there's a lot of bodies there, but no, you don't search them up. That's what the scope and terms means. Okay, I was saying at what extent terms and conditions. I don't know if it's so. If the terms and conditions